Hey guys, thanks for joining me, and if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hi friends, today I have a review for you of the Skaha from North Arms. They are from Canada and they mainly do like cutlery, but they have this folding knife too. I have one or two of their fixed blades and I really like them. I saw a review of this knife on Nick Shabazz's channel and I thought I would go ahead and get on the waiting list. And so I got on the waiting list for it. And it took several months before my number was called and I was able to get onto the website with a code and then input what I wanted. I went ahead and just went with the G10 version of it. The size of this is really good. So let's see what I have for comparison. I have this Neutron too. So this is the Neutron from Three Rivers Manufacturing. And you can see that it's about the same size, but the blade is just a little bit longer. And then let's compare it to a Spyderco Shaman, which is a big boy, about the same blade, but a lot thinner in the pocket. So a good size knife. I would call this a full size knife. You got a full 4 fingers on grip on it. Yeah, it's a good size for me. I like the lockup. The lockup is tight and good. It doesn't have full liners and only has a liner on the side here where it has the lockup, the liner lock. And otherwise it's relying on the thickness of the material of the scale. For the other side, there's basically just a little bit of a liner just for where the washers are on the inside. And in fact, I think that this is actually running on bearings and not washers. It just drops shut too nicely otherwise. So, it drops shut really easily. And I really like the sound that it makes. Anyway, we'll talk about that more later. So the materials of this, I got the G10, but it has a lot of different colors and scale options, which is really great. You can kind of choose what you want. They have upgraded their blade material. This is Magnacut, and Magnacut I think is good to go. It's going to keep an edge for a really long time. I don't know what they heat treated this to, but even if it's only 61, 62, it's going to be going forever. And I trust the guys at North Arms too with their Magnacut, because I actually have a small little fixed blade that they have that Magnacut, and it has stayed sharp forever and seems like it's good to go. They seem to make the switch over to Magnacut almost immediately, which I really liked. This G10 is nice. It's great. It's nice and thick. It doesn't add much weight to it. The knife overall doesn't feel very heavy. The blade length itself is coming in at 3 1/4 worth of cutting edge, maybe just under 3 1/4 of cutting edge. And it's got a nice space right here so that you can sharpen it up nicely. And I actually did sharpen this knife up and on my KME system, and it worked great. The geometry of this blade is great, and it cuts very well. It's thin behind the edge, but it has a nice flat surface here that's going to make you go through paper pretty easily. So I like that too. So as far as my likes and dislikes on this go, absolutely love the sound it makes when it flips open. I mean, that's just great. Also, the jimping on the backside here of the flipper tab is really well rounded and nice. And it looks like it would be a pocket pecker, but it really isn't. It's just enough so that you can put a little downward pressure and it flies open, and it always locks up. You never misfire this knife. I've not misfired this knife once. If you just push down right here on the jimping, that's it. It's gonna fly open for you. I also like that it has some jimping here on the top. And then again, this is very well-rounded jimping. So it's not aggressive. It's not going to burn. It's not going to give you any hot spots. Overall, this knife has no hot spots that I can see, except for the clip, the wire clip back here. When you push it, I can see that if I was using this for a really long time, I might get a little bit of a hot spot from this wire clip. But as far as clips go, if you're not going to have something milled or really nicely that's bent really nicely, a nice wire clip is fine. I did recently catch the lip of this on something and it bent out, And it was very easy to fix this knife up and rebend it so that the clip was down. That doesn't really happen to me that often, where the clip of a knife catches on something and then bends. But I will say that a wire clip is much easier to bend back into shape than a bent clip like this Lynch clip here, which was much harder to bend back into shape. I also really like that they have, when it's closed, you see that it has the BC, British Columbia symbol here on the blade. That's really cool. And when you open it, however, it's hidden. But what's really cool is that, like, right now you can't tell what metal is made out of, but when it's deployed, the BC is hidden, but then it has Magnacut, and then it has a serial number, which is the number that was made. So there have been 2,479 of these made. I also really like the laser etching that they do of the North Arm symbol right here, or the North Arms logo right here. That's really nicely done. That's great. Dislikes. Like I said, there's a little bit of a hole here. It doesn't come with an option to not have the lanyard holes here, but if you're going to do a lanyard hole, this is really low key and it doesn't draw a lot of attention to itself. So it is there. I wish that there was an option on the website that just said no lanyard hole, because I just don't use lanyards, especially not on a knife like this. I mean, there are some knives where I do use a lanyard, but not on this. Hey, this is Paul. While I was editing this, I realized that I left out one important dislike, and that was this knife did not come that sharp. I wish it had come a lot sharper. It wouldn't cut paper easily, and I found that to be a shame. So I took my KME system and I sharpened it up, and now it is perfectly reasonable, but I did have to sharpen this knife in order to get it to an acceptable level of sharpness. This is Magnacut, and the other knives I've gotten from North Arms have never had this problem. So I assume that this is just a one-off, that, you know, I happened to get one that wasn't sharpened very well on an off day, but just be aware of that is one major dislike that I had, was that I had to sharpen the knife out of the box in order to get it to a reasonable level of sharpness. Now back to the regular show. I really like overall the quality of this knife, and I think that the weight for it is because it's just so popular. And so, you know, if you want one, you have to go out of your way. You have to sign up on the website, and then you have to wait for it to come. The price on this is 242 Canadian dollars, which works out to be about 240 American dollars, or 245 or something like that. I don't exactly know, but it's basically 1-to-1. Is fine for what it is. I don't think that you're getting ripped off. I would like it to be a little cheaper, sure, but for what it is, for Magnacut and for the action and everything else, I think it's a perfectly reasonable price. And I also think that this could be an EDC. Like, if you were going to buy one knife and EDC it for years and years, this could easily be it. You wouldn't need another knife. And for $240, I think that's good. I think that also the fact that it's handmade by those guys, that they're a quality company, it makes it worthwhile. I don't think it's excessive. If this was $300, I'd say it's excessive, but $245, $240, I think that you're getting value, and that you're getting what you pay for, and I think it's worth every penny of it. So that's what I have for you today. I think it's a cool knife. If it's interests you, I would definitely check out the website. Also check out their fixed blades, because they have some really cool fixed blades, and they have some really cool kitchen knives and things that are really even more economically priced than this. And even they have some knives that are made of Magnacut, which are kitchen knives, which look awesome. I own a couple of them, and I would just suggest checking out North Arms. They're a good company. All right, guys, thanks a lot for joining me today on Sharp Ends, and I will see you next time. If you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe. If you didn't like what you saw, please tell an enemy. But whatever you do, please tell someone, and I will see you next time on Sharp Ends. Bye-bye.